Yes, we're late. It's because he's black.
But we are back, goddammit.
Oh?
I know I said I'm not. You know me, guys. I got the potty mouth. George reprimands me for it every once in a while.
Wowzers.
July 14, 2010. Right off the bat, we're going to talk about the aftermath and actually the ongoing thing.
First, what we're going to do is Kevin and I just put together a CD trying to get on XM radio. What?
Yeah.
So that means if we ever do, that means you have to come listen to us.
That's right.
All two of you.
Actually, 2.5.
My mom's a little taller than that, so like 3.
Yeah, maybe she is. Anyway, free agency.
NBA free agency. Kevin keeps leaving out the NBA part. We could be talking about hockey.
Yeah, we could be. But I mean, the bottom line is no one gives a fuck about hockey free agency right now. Everybody gave a fuck about 3 major players: Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. All ended up being in the same place.
Going back to Miami.
George is fucking got it.
No, I don't have
staff right now.
I don't, because in reality, they still have to try to find a way to fill the roster, and second, they still have to try to win. And everyone's like, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. Okay,
they're going to win.
It's basketball. Yeah, there's 5 guys on the court. NBA basketball is, hey Tyrone, your turn, take ball, go dunk. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Exactly. Right. It's not that fucking complicated.
It really isn't. If anybody thinks that the Miami Heat is not going to be a contender next year, they're nuts. I mean, you've just got way too much talent on the floor. And I tell you what, the acquisition of Mike Miller, who's yet to sign but will be signing in a couple days, that just scares the shit out of me, because now you got a guy that shoots 48% from beyond the arc. You got an inside game, you got an outside game.
Well, I can't wait to see the Heat play Orlando, to shut that GM up, and then to go back and shut up fucking Dan Gilbert. Rob Gilbert, what is it, Dan Gilbert?
This is where George and I butt heads, because Dan Gilbert, okay, let's talk about Dan
Donkey.
Gilbert. Everybody who doesn't know who Dan Gilbert is the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, did he go overboard? Yes, just like Jesse Jackson went overboard, just like everybody who just had something to say.
I think Jesse hit the nail right on the head.
You know you're a lying motherfucker too.
I ain't never met no slave that made $150 million.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a slave.
Yes, Matthew.
I'll bear that cotton for you, man.
Shit.
What else would you like me to do? I'll drive it right up in the slave house to watch. Oh, but anyway.
I'll be driving him around all day long. Be like, yes, master, wherever you want me to Gilbert, sir. Shit.
He was bitter, obviously, because he lost his moneymaker.
He can't get another free agent to come. I don't care how much money you pay him, because when I leave, I'm going to get that kind of treatment. Fuck you, buddy.
Right. I think people get beyond that. I think you see bitter owners. You've seen it with George Steinbrenner, and which
God bless your soul.
God bless your soul. We'll get onto that later on. But you saw owners that get pissed off. But it does show that this guy's got a lot of tenacity, and he's got a lot of passion as an owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now he's pissed because LeBron James, even though free agency went very quick, it all happened within 4 or 5 days. LeBron still waited to have this big fucking special.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You know, that shit was ridiculous.
Yes.
And he basically just tipped them guys off and said, hey, you know what? I've had a great relationship with you guys. I'm rolling out to fucking Miami. But you know what? This is what I'm doing, so you guys will have an opportunity to maybe sign some of these other big free agents.
Who? Huh? They weren't going to sign Bosh.
What?
They weren't going to sign Bosh, and they weren't going to sign Wade.
Yeah, but maybe they could have signed Miller. Maybe they could have gone after Amari.
Shit.
Huh?
They had plenty of time to go after Amari. They had plenty of time to go after Mike Miller.
But
who wants to come play in Cleveland?
I know.
The only thing good in Cleveland, and I hate this fucking, is, trust me, more painful than anything else I'm going to say today, is Ohio State football. That's it. There are no other winners in the entire state.
The most bizarre thing about this is a while back during the playoff runs, Joakim
is it Joakim?
Joakim. Joakim Noah. Right. He basically said, "What's in?" I mean, and you know what's funny? As fucked up as that statement was,
Cleveland.
He's right. I mean, that guy was right. It's just not
Indians suck. The Browns suck.
They have not won a championship since Jim Brown was a Cleveland Brown. It should have been Jim's Browns.
Now, moving on to people who have managed to win a couple championships over their time, but sadly are no longer with us.
No, before we go any further, who do you think's going to win the NBA championship? If you had a gun pointed to your head and someone said, yo, man, I'll pull the trigger unless you tell me the winner of the 2011 NBA championship
Orlando
next
Magic.
year.
I think it's going to be the Orlando Magic versus the Lakers. I just do.
You know, I think does everybody forget that fucking the Boston Celtics were 4 points away from winning?
And they signed Jermaine O'Neal. Do you know that? They
that kid is nasty, man. I'm saying, get away from you, LeBron lover.
That's fucked up. But it's going to be, to me, it's just going to be Boston or Orlando.
It is. I mean,
the Heat are going to be there pressing them. I mean, in the finals, I'm taking the Lakers because the West is starting to.
Yes, yeah.
But here's the thing: can the Lakers get by the Thunder?
Yeah, I know. That could be the problem. But they're going to have a lot more shit. And you know what? I know this sounds funny, but if it's a possibility to happen this year, and it's a very slim possibility. But if Andrew Bynum is healthy, you know, I know this is going to upset you. I know your blood pressure's going up, man. Should I not talk about that?
Dude, that's like saying if Andrew Bynum is healthy, if the next pope is black, what? This shit's not gonna happen.
That's fucked up. There's never been a black pope.
And Andrew Bynum's never been healthy. Thank you.
But if he is,
if what? If my dick was 8 feet long, I wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be, because I wouldn't want to be near an anaconda like that. Time to film the show. I think right now, as it stands, the Lakers have to win just 4 games next year to be champions. Because they're going to run through the West.
Okay, because the West stinks. Now,
how the West was won. George Steinbrenner, bless his soul.
Bless his soul.
Bless his soul. He probably had a lot of breasts in his face during the course
of
his man. Passed away yesterday at 80 years old in Tampa, Florida. Some people love him, some people hate him, or love him or hate him, whatever you think. The guy was an incredible owner, owned the Yankees and was owned until 1973. Brought them 7 World Series, 11 pennants, and was a very controversial figure over the years. What are your thoughts on it? Because you're a Yankees fan.
It's the owner you want. It's an owner who's going to go, I want to win. I'm going to do anything I can to win. After luxury tax, I don't care. I'll pay the Pirates. I don't care. I want to win.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Yeah, he did. He had a win team. I mean, you look at all the championships the Yankees have had. I mean, I look at George Steinbrenner, and I really don't I don't see an owner that stands out more. Like you made a point that Mark Cuban might be on his way to being that type of owner, and Jerry Jones obviously might be on his way to eventually being that type of owner. But there's just no owner in any sport that has stood out to me like George Steinbrenner. I just can't recall it. I just don't see it. So it was heavy hearts for all you Yankees fans.
I'm going to touch on something you just said. He said standing out. So let's talk about somebody who used to be outstanding and is now standing out on the 1st and the 15th, picking up a check because he's no longer employed.
T.O.
Yeah.
Totally
out of work.
That's his new name. I like that shit. Totally out of work. You know, T.O., this is it. If you want to take some advice, let me give you some. If you want, you're digging your own grave, and you're talking about, there is a known fact, even though your last season in Buffalo, you were kind of quiet because there ain't shit to do up in Buffalo. The bottom line is you're still pregnant. Yeah, that's good point. Wow. The point is that you know, man, you know, I love George, man, but he just likes to fuck up my cheese sometimes. You know what I mean? So there's not a lot he could really get into, you know. And the bottom line is this: his performance on the football field was not that great. Okay. He's known basically for the last couple teams he was played for before that as a cancer to the team. He's been caused turmoil in the locker room.
You can't even get rid of. Like he's no good.
Yeah,
and he's like don't let my stats.
He's a good football player.
No, his stats went down. He's like, don't let my stats fool you. Well, no shit, you played in Buffalo. I mean, there was no one there to get you the ball. But
I would think at a man, I mean, he's got to make up a decision. I would think for a man that wants to play football, wants to get picked up by a team, I would spend less of my energy doing shows and being on Chad Ochocinco's show and more time doing what he used to do a few years ago when he was working out and making it very publicly known that he was keeping his ass in shape and doing things like that. That might be something that a coach might, lobby for his owner to do.
Speaking of men who are always in shape, and if they're not in shape, they usually get knocked out really quick. UFC 117.
And Big Country's on that card, and he is not in shape.
Yeah, that Bama can knock you out.
He will knock you out really quick. But this is going to be the headliner is going to feature Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen. I think it's Chael, not Chael.
That's fine.
I just because I know that we're going to get some keyboard cowboys saying it's Chael.
Oh, but don't forget Matt Hughes is on this card.
Yeah, he's fighting Ricardo Almeida.
Yeah, but more importantly, Roy Nelson's fighting Junior Dos Santos. I think
I love that matchup.
Yeah, the winner of this is really going to put themselves in a great spot to fight Brock Lesnar in the near future.
Yeah, because there's already been announced he'll be fighting Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, well, we understand that, but the winner of the Roy Nelson Junior Dos Santos fight will fight another fight. And if they win that one, their third fight more than likely should be against who's ever holding the heavyweight belt.
Yeah, I would think that the winner of this will fight the winner of Brock Cain. Brock Cain. So? It could be. Well, it might be too much time. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, though, I think I didn't realize it's a pretty solid card. I mean, after the last card, I thought
when we both thought was butt, and it turned out to be
the best fucking card. I mean, it was just great. You know, I mean, we saw so much crazy stuff happen. We saw Fedor lose that week, and then basically Brock Lesnar.
Clay Guida's also on this card, and as we all know, you know what you get. He's going to be in there, hair flailing, fists right behind it, just
giving 150%
right
from the time that they start.
For me, this is a big opportunity for America. One of America's top teams, top fighters, in Thiago Alves. Right. He had a minor brain surgery that kept him out of his last fight. Okay, minor and brain surgery don't even belong in the same paragraph.
Right.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So this is his first fight back. And they said this surgery saved his life. Because if he'd have gone into the ring, it probably could have killed him.
He'd been done.
So he's fighting Jon Fitch.
Right. John Malkovich.
Who do you have winning this?
Huh?
Who do you have winning this? Jon Fitch or Thiago Alves?
I got Fitch, man. Fitch is a solid fighter. You know, he makes great movies. And on top of that, you know, Alves has been out of the game for a while. Now, speaking of brain surgery, Chael Sonnen's going to need brain surgery after he fights Anderson Silva. And I'm going to tell you why. Because every time somebody says Anderson Silva's not fighting, he's laying down and stuff like that, or he takes a fight to decision, the next fight, he fucks somebody up.
And
now,
if you don't
remember,
believe
you
us,
heard it today, July 14th, on the Uncut Sports Show from Kevin.
And if you don't believe us, ask Forrest Griffin.
Yeah. He ran out of the ring.
Yeah, I think he's still running.
Yeah. Far.
So.
Now, what else are we going to talk about? That's it. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. No, we're done.
Oh,
man.
I picked the right team who won the World Cup. In case anyone
Mel Gibson.
That's my hero.
George loves this guy. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have not heard the rant and the crazy shit that Mel Gibson spewed out of his mouth, it's crazy.
Go to radar.com.
Go to radar.com. You got
We're
going to give radar.com a free spot because it's worth it, everybody. We are out and we'll catch you guys next week.
Bye-bye.